Ask father and son duo, Thomas Buck and Grayson. How are you guys today?
Fantastic.
Good. You guys ready to take on the gauntlet? Yeah. Awesome. Well, we're going to dive right in with our first question and our first wing. Do you want to go ahead and take your first bite, and then I'll ask you your question?
Yeah, I do want to make sure that I say thank you to Game Plan Kitchen and Bar, located at 101 Heaths Way Road in Midlothian, Virginia, for donating today's wings. So whether you're here for the big game, a bite with the family, or just good vibes with great people, we've got the playbook with a 15-foot Jumbotron stadium-style seating, 32 TVs, and every sports package imaginable. This isn't your typical sports bar. Fuel your game day with elevated eats, 30 beers on tap, craft cocktails, and indulge our scratch-made desserts that'll make your taste buds to the next level along with their wings. Again, located at 101 Heaths Way Road in Midlothian, Virginia. Take an opportunity to go see them at some point and thank them for being a part of this. So, you ready?
Nice. Yeah. Ready for the first bite? Yeah. You got it in the right order? You're not confused?
Nope.
All right. All right, how's the first one?
No, won't do that.
Not too bad? All right, off to a good start. Now, I feel like I have to start by asking the obvious question. Tom, why are you putting your poor son through eating so many hot wings?
Before anybody calls Child Protective Services on me, this was actually his push, right? So he saw what I was doing, and he's like, I want to get involved. I want to get involved. I want to eat the hot wings. And I'm like, no, this is while I'm doing. And so once I had hit my goal for achieving what I wanted to fundraise for the Ask 5K and Fun Walk, he still was trying to get involved. And I'm like, well, if you're going to get involved, you've got to help raise money. Like, you have to now hit these hurdles so you can accomplish this. And we did it at 4 for 1,000, and then we took it to another 4 for the next 1,000. So that's how it all got started.
That's pretty awesome. And how much did you help fundraise? What was the total for you guys this year? Do you remember?
It was $10,026.
Pretty snazzy. Pretty cool. All because of Grayson's help, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Natural on the camera, I found out.
Pretty awesome. All right, well, do you want to go ahead and jump into the second wing too? We're going fast and furious.
Let's do it. Let's
see. I want to know, you got to narrate as you go. Is it if it like immediately jumps, gets too spicy, or if it's pretty normal from the get-go?
This is actually pretty good, the second one.
Okay.
It's like pear.
It is. This is the ghost pepper pear.
You see, when you throw ghost pepper in there, that sounds horrendous, but I'm glad it's good.
No, that was delightful.
Very little ghost pepper.
All right, well, what contributed to the idea for raising money for Ask? What was behind this idea and choice?
So for the past couple of years, I've had to think ingeniously, what can I do to get more awareness and to get more funds? We're not from this area, so we don't have a very large contingent of people that know us. When we came down here in 2016, but we have built that family because of the pediatric cancer community here in Richmond, Virginia. But I always want to say, like, it's beyond just saying, please donate. It's there has to be more to it, right? The people that don't have the connection need to understand the connection. And so it was always about doing something to me, right? So the kids would do pies and water bottles and things of nature. And this is when we were doing 2 races a year, right? So we had the spring and the fall. And I was like, how can I just keep elevating the game to get there? Well, unfortunately, it's a very messy process to do that in the front yard. And I said, well, I've got to think of something new and creative. And then I just happened to be watching a Hot Ones episode, and I was like, that's it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build it all up on this.
Yeah, and it works really well.
Yep.
Grayson, what was different about this year? Why did you want to get involved this year?
I just thought it was really cool that we were doing that he thought of doing a hot wing challenge, because I like doing spicy food. I like wings.
Words that have never come out of my mouth about spicy food. I do like wings, but not anything remotely spicy. But it's all fun and games right now, but I'm thinking we may end up regretting this further down the road. And by we, I mean you guys. But this isn't the hardest thing that you guys have had to go through as a family. Can you share why you're passionate about Ask?
So over there off camera is my why. That's Charlotte. Charlotte was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia in 2018, right before she turned 3, and only a couple years after we had just moved into the area. So it's funny because when I tell my story, and Amy the director of Ask, tells her story, there's similar parallels, right? Like we kind of start our story very similar in nature when we talk about our respective children being diagnosed with cancer. But that's the why, right? And seeing her go through that process, seeing how we were able to put a community together around us that we didn't have before. I mean, I look back at her, end of treatment celebration, which was in the middle of COVID, right? So we couldn't do the normal ringing the bell ceremony that we could at the hospital that most people see on videos. And then when she was done with her last absolute medication in January of 2021, it had to be a car parade across our drive, our front street. That's how we could do it. We couldn't have an indoor celebration at the time, but seeing the community and the cars lining up, honking the horns, I mean, it really takes into consideration everything we went through and where we got to that finish line. But we're never truly at that finish line because we always have to be on top of what's going on with Charlotte. And any little thing we have to go back and say, could this be from her cancer diagnosis, and her treatment? So the story never ends. The finish line never is really there. But that's really what got us into this in the first place.
All part of the story, all part of the journey. I realized I jumped ahead and didn't make you eat a wing while you were answering that question.
Let's do that,
so I need you to go back and eat the third one. We're going to do 3 and 4 back to back. I just was trying to build up the anticipation for you to see if you were really going to enjoy it or if it was going to be too spicy. But while you're eating the third one, I'll ask Grayson, what's some of your favorite Ask events that you've gotten to be a part of? If you can speak around the spicy hot wing.
Oh, this is a late one.
Oh, okay.
Comes in at the end.
I like the Ask.
The race?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also don't mind the parent side out. Usually when they bring the game truck.
I love it.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Game truck is pretty fun. You got a lot of takers. All right. Now we're going to dive right into the fourth wing. I didn't give you any chance.
All right,
we're going to go straight.
The third one is gone.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it didn't have a lasting effect. It was a quick, and now the spice is gone. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for sharing a little bit about your experience with Ask and your passion and your why. I kind of jumped ahead a little bit too, but during Charlotte's treatment and kind of through the years that followed until now, what were things that helped your family kind of push through?
There was a lot that Ask had done during that treatment time. Obviously, from the standpoint of having Miss Katie there at Children's Hospital of Richmond, always there to check in with Charlotte. I heard one of her favorite things was the dogs that would come through clinic before COVID shut that down. But that was like one of her favorite things, going into clinic, is seeing the dogs, petting the dogs. We have tons of pictures of that.
We're going for our first sip of water.
I know.
You're calling it out.
And just again, the community events, right? So the races, the festivals, the parents' night out events, things that Charlotte can get involved with, the sibling events that can get into. So there was always these things going on during the course of the year that allowed us to kind of get out of our normal and to get back into our pre-cancer diagnosis normal, and that is getting to know people and building community and building friendships. And Charlotte has built a number of friendships with other girls her age that have gone through similar treatments, similar diagnoses. And again, when we have an event, she's like, is so-and-so going to be there? So-and-so go there. So it really feels good that we have built this community with the events that Ask has provided for us.
Pretty cool. That's one of my favorite things about the walk too, is that it brings together people who can leave behind the hospital walls or their history and come and join in the community and with people who know what it's like. Excuse me, I'm not eating any hot wings, and I'm choking over here. But you guys ready for the fifth one? We're gonna be halfway through.
I think this one might be pretty hot. It has wax on the top and it has like a symbol.
Yeah, it's a fancy bottle.
It's a fancy one.
Looks different from all the other ones. All right, the halfway marker. Let's see. You got to tell me how it is. Went back in for a second bite, so it can't be that bad, or it doesn't hit you right away. Either one of the two. A little spicy? Oh, you don't taste it yet?
Yep, it's coming. It is coming, my friend.
It's building up?
Yep.
All right. Well, at this point, I'm going to put Grayson in the hot seat as we let the spice percolate a little bit. And Tom, feel free to jump in. But I heard that there might be some middle school slang that might be available to you to use to maybe describe the hot wings or the experience. So, would you care to maybe teach us or use some slang? What does skibbity mean? Like skipping? like a rabbit? Like you talk about a rabbit?
Skibbity, skibbity toilet.
That was not clarify. That did not clarify anything.
It's like mid or bad. Like
okay, but mid to me would seem that's like in the middle. That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, but like sometimes skibbity toilet would mean bad. The skibbity means mid.
Okay. Okay, so you have the toilet on the end, and that becomes bad.
Throw it in Ohio. Oh man.
What do you mean throw in Ohio?
You throw it in Ohio, and then that's the worst thing that in the world that you could possibly have in front of you. Yeah.
Hey, I lived in Ohio for like 9 months when I was 3 years old.
Apparently,
so
Ohio has become the worst place to live on earth.
I didn't say that I stayed there. So, any other middle school slang words you want to throw out, Tom? Anything you've picked up on too from Grayson?
No, because I don't want to embarrass him.
I'm pretty Sigma.
He's pretty Sigma.
So I can take on all these stuff.
There you go. This is top level. You know.
I'm going to take that to mean you're really cool, and I believe that.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, look,
Yeah.
I translated a little bit.
That's right. He's trying to pull off that main character energy.
Got it. I read books. I know what a main character is. that I can do. Well, you want to, as you try and take on the sixth one, switch back to English so that we can understand what you're talking about?
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Hot sauce picante. All right.
All right, we're on the back half now. I feel like it's got to get spicier. You're taking it all in stride at this point.
It's really good.
I think my mouth would be on fire. You guys are making it seem too easy.
This is usually the part of the show where you start noticing people that can handle it and those that can't.
See, I would have been out after the first one, so this is a bad comparison. But switching to English now, Tom, what would you say to people who are looking to get involved and raise funds like you have? Do you have any suggestions on how to get started?
I think
second sip of water.
I
didn't catch you. Did you take a sip of water too before this?
Earlier,
okay.
Yeah. And
I should have it at counter.
I just took a sip of my cold brew coffee too.
Okay.
So obviously, the askwalk.org site is still there. So if anybody who's watching this live and finds this to be hilarious and wants to contribute to the cause, they can go to askwalk.org right now and make a donation underneath the thermometer. So they can definitely do that.
True.
That's still there. Help us get to our $300,000 goal.
I gotta stop you for a second. Grayson, can you talk me through what's going on right now?
I don't know why you're not feeling this.
All right, you just got 2 more after this. I want you to know that I fully thought that was ranch dressing until you started drinking it. All right, sorry, Tom, continue.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing for all the parents that are a part of the community. You know, you have your why, and it's being able to fully spelling out exactly what your passions are and why it's so important for people to get involved and to help contribute to the cause and volunteer. So there are tons of ways for parents to do it and describe what they're going through. You know, shout out to the Moreland family. You know, with Lily and Danielle and Ben. They've got a tough time and they tell their story constantly on Instagram, and you can feel the raw emotions that they're going through right now as Lily's going through her treatments right now up in Philadelphia. So you know, you feel the story, you feel the passion. You're like, what do I do? How can I help? I mean, obviously there's ways to contribute, but volunteerism is the big one. I mean, that's the big thing. A lot of these events take a lot of people to come across. I mean, just for the Ask Walk alone, how many volunteers?
Over 75.
Yeah, 75 volunteers, and there's always room for more, right? You know, that's for sure. So that you can get involved by volunteering of your time for any of the events, contributing to askccf.org or the askwalk.org for the impact on the walk that was on May 3rd.
Grayson, do you have anything you would add of how kids can encourage their parents to get involved or how the kids can get involved themselves? Besides, eat some hot wings. Tell your parents to eat some hot wings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you regretting it yet?
Are you being watched right now? Is that why your watch is blowing up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair. All right. Well, we're on to the 7th one. This is what one of 2 left for Grayson, the penultimate wing, if you will. And I have to give a disclaimer here, Grayson, because your mom made me ask this question. She gave this to me, so I need you to eat the wing first, and then I'll ask you. Number 7. Everybody's still going back for seconds. It's a testament to the wings. The wings have to be pretty good.
Y'all got to go to a game plan. Good wings. All right. There you go. That's it.
All right.
I'm feeling that one.
All right. Grayson, here's your question. We heard that sometimes you can be a little sneaky, a little mischievous, as you are especially thinking about those wings. And you like to play video games when you shouldn't be. So what games are you playing when you're doing that? Roblox? Solid. Was that what you expected the answer to be? Yep. All right. Fair. Is that your favorite game? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that wing a little spicy?
Yep. That one does it right there.
Was that the bomb?
No.
No.
That was the pepper ninja.
Oh, okay. So we got one more until the bomb.
Ninja napalm.
Ninja napalm. All right.
Oh my. It's
right,
kicking my mouth right now.
Tom, now that I've outed Grayson, what are some of your guilty pleasures?
Oh man, I've got so many. There isn't a pastry or an ice cream that I will not turn down.
Fair.
So
are you feeling like we should pull out the ice cream right now?
I think we're
getting there.
I think we're at that point, honey.
I think Grayson said yes. Does someone want to grab some ice cream?
Oh man. I think anytime that we travel, go somewhere, if there's a local ice cream shop, I'm all about like trying to go for it. Or if there's a local pastry shop, donuts, don't get me started there. That's we all got to try the local donuts. None of that Dunkin' stuff. Nope. I want something that's local to the area. So that is one there. And I still watch WWE wrestling. So there you judge me if you want. That's fine.
My current question is not about not judging you for guilty pleasures, but are you feeling bad at all about getting your son involved in this now that you're experiencing it at the same
I gave
time?
him full warning on this.
I don't think I want to know what the bomb.
Oh no. Well, we're about to take it, so do whatever you need to prepare. You want to take a bite of ice cream?
Yeah.
You can start with a bite of ice cream, take a little small bite of the wing, and then another bite of ice cream to wash it down. It's supposed to have a pretty good half-life too. So you bite it and then it gets better from there.
That actually helped a lot.
Okay, good.
Wow.
All right. Ice cream's the secret, baby. Grayson, do you agree or are you still on fire?
Yeah, that really helps.
All right. Well, we're about to take on Grayson's last wing and the bomb. Is it the bomb beyond insanity?
This is the bomb evolution.
Evolution. All right. Are you ready? You ready to go in? That was a really big bite. Let's see. All right.
Oh my God.
No? Not good? It doesn't even taste good anymore. No taste buds left. Well, as you were trying to fight through the bomb, Grayson, would you like to sing the lava chicken song for us as you go off? Can you remember any of the lyrics right now, or is it taken over?
Okay, I'll sing.
All right, I'm ready.
It's like burning.
Lava. Touch the chicken. These lava chicken, yeah, it's tasty as hell. Mama Future and I are ringing the bell. Crispy and juicy, now you're having a snack. Ooh, super spicy at the lava cat.
There we go.
Amazing. Killing it. All right, and with that, we move on to Tom taking on the last 2 wings.
Yeah.
Well, you get to just enjoy watching Grayson take a break and eat his ice cream and knowing that he has completed his challenge. Would you like us to walk us through a little bit of what you're experiencing right now?
Pain.
Oh, got it.
Pain. Yeah, there is some pain here. Wow.
Evidence that adults are not as resilient as children. Grayson's taking it in stride. He sang a song. Tom's just suffering over there.
Yeah.
All right, well, with Grayson now out of the picture, let's get into the juicy details, Tom. We heard that some funny things happened during your wedding ceremony. What happened? Sorry, excuse me. You have to take eat the next wing and then start. I'm giving you a minute to think, and then you can share.
Oh my God. All right.
There's some seriously big bites happening
Yeah, I know.
here. This is not like a little nibble to just get a little spice.
That's a scorpion.
Mm-hmm.
It stings like one.
So what happened at your wedding, Tom?
Oh man. I'm dying over here. Well, so the officiant that we were having to come to our wedding had to back out at the last minute because he was sick. And oh Lord, I gotta do 2 of those last ones.
Yep. Grayson seems totally recovered for the record. He seems totally fine.
No, he's not. He's playing awfully well. So we had somebody else come in and play backup, and so he was there, and the entire ceremony. This is back in 2015, right? Yeah, no, 2016. We got married in 2000. Hold on, 14. 14? Yeah, thank you. All right, 2014.
Just it's flown by so quickly.
It has. It has. All the dates are mixing together. He had his big Bluetooth earpiece on in his ear the entire ceremony, right? Second of all, he was reading from a script, and it was a multiple ceremony type of script. So based on what type of wedding it was, he read the parentheses part of it, right? So he said out loud for everyone to hear, traditional Christian wedding. It's just like, oh my God. And he never told anybody to sit down. Oh. So after everyone came down, right, he was supposed to tell everyone to sit down. They still stood standing the entire time that the ceremony was going on. And he asked Beth's father twice who gives this woman to be married. And the second time he said, if you ask me again, I'm going to say no. So those are just, did I miss any of them, honey? Is that the good ones? Yeah, that's the good ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, makes it memorable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh my God.
All right. Are you ready to take on the final wing? The last dab?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do that. So.
All right. So you have to. What's the procedure here? Because usually on the last wing you do an extra dab. Are you doing an extra dab on both wings?
So as I had promised, contractually on the AskWalk.org website, it said if I was the #1 fundraiser for the event, I would do 2 dabs of the last dab.
Yep.
Which is millions of Scoville units.
Yep.
So put it on the table right there. Oh Lord. All right.
All right. Make sure it's fully covered, fully coated over there.
It's over there. It's in there.
All right. And for our 10th wing, not the 11th wing, that one's coming later. For the 10th wing, we have a recurring segment on our show called Explain That Gram, where we do a deep dive into our guest Instagram and pull interesting pictures that might need more context. So I'll show you a few pictures, and you're going to tell us the bigger story.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with this one.
Yeah. So one of the things, so at the previous walk from 2024, I said that if I had met my fundraising goal, which was like $6,000 or something like that, that I would walk around a grocery store in a green man suit. And Beth would videotape it, that entire experience. So at that point, by the time we got around it, I decided to make poster boards around me that said why I was walking around Publix with a green man suit on, which said how much money I had raised for the Ask Walk for 2024. So that was the context of that picture.
Very nice. All right, and how about this one?
Okay, so this was, I want to say 2018.
Correct. October 22nd specifically.
Yes. I was cast into a investigation discovery show that was being filmed here locally on a murder that had happened. I can't remember when it happened. It was out in Ohio. Shout out to Ohio again. And the whole premise around this investigation discovery show was murders that happened with masks on.
Okay.
So it's called Unmasked.
Mhm.
And in this one in particular, I was cast to be the district attorney. So I looked at the district attorney who was there and what he looked like, and I dressed like him. And that picture right there was when we were in the autopsy room with one of the police officers, and we were talking over, looking at the actress who had been stabbed multiple times, and we were having a discussion about her autopsy at that point. So that's what's behind that picture.
Super fun. All right, I have one picture left that requires just a little more context. Maybe my favorite one.
Okay. So that was when Thomas was really young at that time, about 12, 13 years ago. I think we were ringing in 2013 at that
Yep.
time. And so I was with Beth at her apartment at the time. And that was me celebrating like any early 30th, late 20th, 20 years person would do, right? So enjoying New Year's.
Super fun. All right, well, you have made it through. You're on to the last wing. How are you feeling?
I'm glad there's hours of recovery before our concert tonight.
Yeah, Grace, do you want to tell everybody what you're doing tonight?
I'm playing a song called Sorrentino on mallets at a restaurant called
Tin Pan.
Tin Pan.
That's pretty awesome. 2 exciting things in one day, taking on the Hot Ones gauntlet and then going to perform live. Do you think you'll survive? All right, you ready to take your last dab? Ready to dive into the last wing?
All right, here we go. I'm getting it in. Make it count.
Amazing. All right, you've made it through. Yeah. Hooray. All right, this camera. Tell the people what you're up to.
Not trying to die. Oh. Let me finish this bite here. First off, I have to again thank Game Plan Kitchen and Bar in Midlothian, Virginia, for donating these wings. I have to also give massive amount of thanks to Caitlin for being the host of this event, of my concoction, my thinking. I also have to thank Kelsey, who is behind the scenes watching the iPad, and also first and foremost, last but not least, Amy Gotkin, the executive director of Ask, who has been through our journey the big constant in our lives, and also leveraging me whenever I have an idea or I have a thought, something that I want to do to keep expanding Ask. And I appreciate her trust in me to be a part of events like this, and also in the advocacy sessions when we go to Richmond and we talk about Ask. And without her leadership, I don't think we would be where we are today as an organization, especially at the state level, nationwide, supporting the pediatric cancer families of all 5 oncology hospitals across the Commonwealth. So, Amy, from the bottom of our heart and from everybody who's watching, all of the Ask families, thank you so much for your leadership and your guidance through these years.
Very nice. Woo. I want to call out that Grayson was just going back in for some bites of some wings, so killing it. Thank you, guys. That is the end. Good to go. If we know how to